What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be talking about our experience at Winter Chillout 2025, including things like Siren's Curse, Snake River Falls, and Top Thrill 2. All those things are very major to how the 2025 operating season will go. It was a very exciting day, and a lot is coming to the park in the future, and a lot of questions still remain about the future of certain things compared to 2 years ago when we went to in 2023. I would say this year has lived up to a little more hype than 2 years ago. When we got into the park, walking through the snow, we headed over to Top Thrill 2 and we saw some crane work going on. It looks like it's just some track work, but I'm not totally sure. It doesn't look to be anything major, as it will be ready for opening day, hopefully. But then right after that, we went behind the scenes into where the old hydraulic machine used to be for Top Thrill Dragster, and in there was the new train for the Siren's Curse. And this was what was revealed in that crate that Tony posted on social media. So this is the surprise right here, and I think everyone kind of knew that that is what it was going to be. So obviously you can see that it has over-the-shoulder restraints as well as a lap bar attached to it. This is similar to Top Thrill 2 in that it also has no seatbelt. The seats look very comfortable. I like the green. It also plays music and it has lights, and the trains look absolutely gorgeous. And the design of the paint, however, has not been finalized, so that is still in the works as to how the color of the train and the design of the paint will look. But the train, aside from that, looks really good, and I'm very excited to be able to sit in the train when Siren's Curse opens. As we moved on to the back, the Happy Fire was in a phase of renovation, and obviously it's a little torn down, and there are construction materials. The Happy Fire is undergoing a renovation, which I will get into a little bit later in the video. But after we passed the little fire, we went to the sign shop, and in the sign shop, that's where they make all the signs for all the rides and all the attractions and all the stuff like that. So there were various signs, including the Palace Theater, the Barnyard, a Cotton Candy sign, a Cedar Point sign that appears to go on the front Cedar Point sign, and then there's also the Troca sign, and there are many other signs in there that I cannot name for the sake of time. There are also skeletons and other props for Hollow Weekends in there as well. There are obviously other props in there besides just Hollow Weekend stuff. And after we left the sign shop, we saw the Snake River Falls cart just sitting off to the side. So that was kind of interesting. After the sign shop, we moved on to the Snake River Falls site, where Snake River Falls was located. Now Snake River Falls has been removed. The only thing that remains there is the station. Obviously, I don't know what's going to go there. There's a lot of possibilities as to what could go there, but I think it's too early to tell right now. I don't think they're going to do anything with it this year. But the sign for the Snake River Falls site was held in a raffle. I don't know who won the raffle as of when I'm making this. But the sign is being held in a raffle, which is pretty cool. So after the Snake River Falls site, we went over to the Barnyard. In the Barnyard, there were a few animals out, which was a pleasant surprise. Other than that, not really much to say about that. After that, we went to what everyone has been talking about, and that is a Siren's Curse construction site. And a lot has happened to that area over the past few months. Obviously, the tilt track has been complete, as we know. The rest of it is being built. It will start testing in March, and the last piece of track will be installed in the tunnel, which is pretty cool. And obviously, looking at the site, the stage has also been removed, and Iron Dragon's regular queue will be rerouted. It appears that it will be rerouted a little off to the side so that there's more space open in the midway. I think what they're doing here is it's going to make the midway look a lot more polished than it did before, and obviously a lot more busy, and no more of those food trucks and stuff that just was kind of put there just to fill up space. It will actually look completed this time. And then the railroad building was the next thing we went to, and in the railroad building there were some parts and railroad cars. And inside of there was also a bell. Ben got to ring the bell. After the railroad building, we had lunch. Lunch was very good. There was a very good chicken wing. There was good mac and cheese. The baked potato was awesome, and they had awesome dessert. All that stuff they served at lunch will be served at the park for the upcoming year. Next, we went to the laundry building, and to be honest with you, the laundry building was my least favorite. Not really much happens in there other than the obvious, which they washed the laundry. And then after that, we went to the landscaping building, and the landscaping building actually had some pictures of how they did some landscaping over the past couple years. And they're going to be putting new flowers in that space where you see all the other designs have went for Siren's Curse. After that was the maintenance building, which is where all the maintenance obviously happens with the cars and the machines and stuff like that. The old control panels for Total Dragster and Millennium Force are in there, and you will be able to interact with them. It's a nice thing to look at. And then after that was the arcade. Nothing really happened in the arcade. They gave us a credit to play some games for like 10 minutes. It honestly wasn't that much. But in there were new plushies for Siren's Curse. Those will be sold in the stores for Siren's Curse. And then right after that, we went to the Park Services building. The Park Services building was actually the former site of the old pirate ride, which closed in 1996. So some cool history. You can actually see the old imprints of the tracks still on the ground. The stuff that is in there now is the stuff used to keep the park clean. The final thing we did was the Jack Aldridge Theater. In there, a bunch of show props and costumes and stuff from past shows that have happened in there. And that's not even all the props and stuff they've used. A lot of the popular shows over the years are kind of spotlighted in there. That was the Jack Aldridge Theater, and that was basically our visit. We also had a Q&A event in which some things were revealed for next year. The Famous Dave's, which is now on the marina, will be moving to Castaway Bay. And that is significant, obviously, because the restaurant connected to Castaway Bay has been closed for the past few months. And it's just good to see that it's finally getting replaced with a new restaurant. And the renderings for the restaurant I don't have, but the new restaurant looks really nice. And that original location will not reopen next year. It will stay vacant. Next up, the CP150 sign in front of the park will be taken down, and it will be changed to say Cedar Point, making people happy since 1870. I like this move by the park. It will give it a nice refresh. Another thing mentioned during that was that new LED screens would be installed around the park. These will have the map, show times, and other stuff that guests would be looking for. And this is kind of like what you would see in the mall. You can find information, and I think that's a great idea. It makes the park all that easier to navigate. And then I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to talk about a little more now, is that the Happy Fire is being renovated. Now, I don't have a picture of the renovated building, which they did show us at the Q&A session. But what I can tell you is that it is changing to a walk-in location. However, there will be no indoor seating, but it will have outdoor seating. Now it will be able to hold larger crowds, and the building is going to look more modern, and it's going to be a nice refresh to that building, which I think that building needed. Also with that, the menu is more flexible, so now we can see more specialties added to the menu as the season goes on. Shifting over to Cedar Point Shores, there will be 2 new slides for Cedar Point Shores. One will be closed, and one will be open. It's pretty worthy mentioning it. Cedar Point Shores hasn't really gotten anything new since that 2017 renovation, so I'm happy to see it get a little bit of nice treatment. A big thing that is also coming to Cedar Point is that Millennium Force will be getting a new repaint and a new control panel for its 25th anniversary. And 25 years for a roller coaster is almost, it's actually pretty old. So it is good to see Millennium Force still running as well as it is now. It will be receiving a repaint that will take 2 years. Then the new control panel will be going in there. So that will be good for Millennium Force. It'll keep the technology up to date, and it will hopefully be able to keep the coaster running even longer. So that's pretty significant there. Going back to Top Thrill 2, the Top Thrill 2 trains are now being sent back to the park, and they will test and be commissioned for opening day. Some new information was revealed about Siren's Curse. This includes things such as Fastlane. Siren's Curse will be part of the Fastlane Plus Pass, and it has a 48-inch requirement, so you must be 48 inches tall to ride the ride. And then you will also be required to go through metal detectors when you enter the ride, much like Top Thrill 2. Sticking with the theme of Siren's Curse and Top Thrill 2, they will both have free lockers going to their rides. Like Steel Vengeance, these free lockers are small. It can only hold things like wallet, keys, and phone. So it'll be small space, but it's free, and the big lockers that you have to pay for will still be there for Top Thrill 2. So you now have options, which is always good. And finally, Siren's Curse will have its story revealed more later as we get closer to opening day. It would certainly be nice for the queue to be themed. I think Cedar Point has done a better job of theming its rides over the past few years, starting with the Boardwalk, Top Thrill 2, and now this. I think they're getting better and better at theming their rides, and I think theming the queue would be a nice touch to Siren's Curse. I'm excited for the park opening this year. It's going to be a great year. A lot of great things, including Top Thrill 2 and the Siren's Curse, and the many other things that we haven't really figured out yet, but can speculate on. I think it's going to be a great year for Cedar Point, and obviously under the new ownership of Six Flags, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with how that shakes out. But as of right now, I think it's going to be a great year, and I hope you guys think the same. If you guys have any comments, be sure to drop them below. Be sure to leave a like on this video if you want to see more content like this. And that will do it for this video. We'll see you guys on the next video, and yeah.